Okay, hello everyone. Here we are. It's been a while since I've had a chance to record anything, but like my article said last week, we've got a pretty big event going on here. We've got the Classic Quarter League featuring the Classic Invitational starting this week. And lo and behold, yours truly, PlanetWalls, ended up being my opponent. So I'm waiting here for PlanetWalls to start our match. His deck is rather interesting. It's probably one of the few straight up innovative decks in the field, and it's basically built on Birthing Pod, which is a card that not many people in Classic have really attempted to see if there's any ability for the card to have any impact. I mean, the one good thing it has going for it, Workshop, can make it cast on turn one, which is a pretty big game. I mean, I think that's something we definitely need to have some concern with. So my opening hand is not terrible, but I was really looking for some sort of a force of will or something along those lines. The mental missteps in this matchup are not going to be very good, and the leading into Snapcasters is not necessarily a strong play for me. So I think PlanetWalls is actually going to be recording this match, so we'll have a unique format here for you guys, where we'll be having counterpoints, counter sides of the game being described here. So this will be rather interesting for the two of us to kind of go back and see what the other person is thinking. So I think that's what's taking a little bit here now, is PlanetWalls is probably talking through what his opening hand is and how he might proceed. But I think this is a pretty prime candidate to mulligan this hand, because it's really not going to do much for me. It's not, there's nothing proactive, because those mental missteps are just are not really important cards in this matchup. Just looking through his deck lists, I believe Hex Parasite might be a 1-mana cost. Mana Vault. I mean, there's a few other ones, but I'm gonna throw that back. This hand, on the other hand, is a little bit better because I have the Nature's Claim. So I'm going to keep this. It's a little bit risky, but I'm going to keep that only because I have the Nature's Claim. And Lightning Bolt doesn't hurt either. So let's see what PlanetWalls has for his first turn here. So he leads off with City of Traders. Looks like he might be casting a 2-drop. Maybe a Grim Monolith, or, okay, Mox Opal. A Phyrexian Revoker. Alright. Not sure what he will name. Probably Jace, I guess. It's really his that's probably his only target at this point. And he named Lotus Petal. Okay, that's I would probably name Jace there, but Lotus Petal is certainly valid. So I open up into another Brainstorm. So I'm gonna drop the Polluted Delta, and I'm gonna pass the turn. Let's see what his turn 2 comes up with. So he's going to start attacking with his Revoker, which is fine. It'll take me to 18. So plays a Mana Crypt, which turns on his Mox Opal, so he's got 5 mana available to him here. He's going to cast Lodestone Golem. That's a big problem for us. I think because we don't have any land, we'll be locked out of the game. If we, I don't like using my brainstorms in this way, but I think this might be one of the few cases where it makes sense to brainstorm and pray that you hit some land and a force of will. So let's grab, I think what we want to grab is a tropical island. I like having the lightning bolt, but I think the Nature's Claim might be... Oop. There we go. Let's see if we are dead in the water or we drew into a force of will, which helps. But we're in a tough bind here, so I'm going to put back a mental misstep and the lightning bolt. So we'll force a will the Lodestone Golem here, and I'm going to pitch one of these mental missteps. We lucked out a little bit there, but unfortunately we are not going to be drawing land for a few turns, which is one of the things I typically do not like about casting a brainstorm without having an open fetch land. But I think we really were in a bind there. So I got a couple options here. I think what we're going to want to do is Nature's Claim the Revoker so that I can at least cast something if I need to. I would much rather have used that for something else, but at this point we're really in a bind with our mana situation, so we're going to need that Lotus Petal. The other good thing is that it did turn off our opposing Mox Opal here. Unfortunately, we're going to get blown out here by a Strip 9, which is really annoying. There's not much we're going to be able to do about that. So he's got up to 4 mana available to him. So I'm pretty sure we do not want to spell Snare this. Mostly because we want to brainstorm, but that's a little bit of a problem, having him get back to some of those cards. So we'll have to be careful here. He can even cast a Birthing Pod now. And there it is. So we know the top card of our library is a Mental Misstep. What's the likelihood that one of the next 2 cards is also a Force of Will? Probably not good. I'm unfortunately have to let that go. So let's see here. We draw our Mental Misstep, and well, unfortunately I don't really see an out here. We are getting completely hosed by our mana, which is really unfortunate. The good thing is once we get to the sideboard we have a ton of artifact hate, so it's not quite the end of the world if we do lose game 1 here. I imagine that PlanetWalls is going to activate Birthing Pod. The question is, what 3-mana creature would he actually want to get? Quickly running down his list, he can get a Junk Diver. That's pretty much it right now. I think Junk Divers is only 3-drop. Which also is not a terrible card to have. So I have to cast Brainstorm here. Actually, no, I can cast Spell Snare. Well, I guess the question is, do I cast Spell Snare or Brainstorm? I guess the right call would be to Spell Snare the Revoker, because then I can, if I draw a Lotus Petal, I can at least use it. That's probably the best plan right now, because I don't really have much have much confidence that the top card of my deck is going to be a land. And it wasn't, just as I figured. So we are significantly behind the 8-ball here. PlanetWalls is getting a little luckier too here. He's won 2 flips in a row to his Mana Crypt, so it's not helping our cause. So now he's got a lot more options when he can go to the 4-drop spot. He can grab a Summoner's Egg. He can grab what else? His 1 Lodestone Golem is in his graveyard. I believe I could cast a Frogmite, but you know, that's only purpose would be to continue up the birthing pod chain. Okay, so he decided to go with a Frogmite to go up the chain, and he got his Lodestone Golem back. So we are really bad position here. Could have used the Force of Will last turn. So it looks like I could have countered the Birthing Pod after all if I brainstormed, because I drew Misstep, Bolt. Yeah, go figure. Oh well. Not much I can do now, but just wait and get my rear end handed to me. So he's 2 for 2, or 2 and 2, excuse me, against his Mana Crypt, but we're about to get served a 7 mana beatdown here, or 7 damage beatdown here. So he's got us on a 2-turn clock. And actually, there really isn't any way for me to win this, unless he does something like trade his Lodestone Golem for something else. I really don't see how I win this match, or this game, excuse me. Now, when you draw 1 land and 13 cards, or 12 cards, excuse me, you're not going to get anything done. So Skull Clamp. I'm just going to concede. There's no way I'm going to win here. Yep, no land, 1 land, nothing. Alright. So let's go into game 2. That was about as bad as it gets. The good thing is, like I said, we've got quite a few options here. He does use his graveyard, although I'm not sure it's worth bringing in the lead line of the voids. It's definitely worth bringing in the grudges, the chewers, welder, nature's claim. So what we'll take out here are the mental missteps, because they are pretty weak in this matchup. Flusterstorm is completely useless. So that leaves me at 60 cards exactly. I wonder if I can take out these spell pierces. And put in Lee lines. If that would... Or maybe take out 2 snares and 2 spell pierces. I think I'll submit with this. I'm not confident the Lee lines are going to have an impact on the match, so I'll leave it at this. The surgical extractions are not useful with such a with such a singleton heavy deck. Really, I mean, he's got only a few cards that have any real value to getting rid of, and you know, I can't get anything more than maybe 1 off of him. So I'm gonna stick with this. I've got quite a few artifact hate cards, so we'll see what happens. I even got Goblin Waldor, who I think might be the best in this matchup, but we'll see. Yes, I will definitely like to play first. And my opening hand contains 1 land again. Well, I'm not casting Jace or Demonic Tutor anytime soon, probably. I can't cast Nature's Claim. I can cast a Nile Spellbomb on turn 1 and then go turn 2 Ingo Chewer. But I really don't like having that 1 land. He only has 1 Strip Mine. He's got no Wasteland, so I don't I mean, it's unfortunately it blew me out last game, but it's not necessarily something I should concern myself with. The question is, can I get by without this? I'm gonna keep. This is a really risky hand, but as we saw last game, it didn't really help me too much by mulliganing into 1 to again. So let's go with the spell bomb and see what happens. Okay, Ancient Tombs into a Mana Vault. And Lodestone Golem. He might have just beat me. Oh, that was really not the card I was looking to see. Land, please. Oh. Well, that's not good at all. This is going to be an incredibly difficult match right now. Wow. That's the game. I can't do anything about that. Even if I draw a land next turn, I'm done. Good games, PlanetWalls. Good luck in the round. Unfortunately, I have absolutely nothing that I can do about that. Yeah, nothing. Wow. Well, that was not pretty. I don't know how much people will get out of it. Hopefully, PlanetWalls' perspective is a lot more entertaining than mine, because I didn't really do anything. But anyway, thanks for watching, and look forward to showing you guys the rest of the rounds with my deck. So, take care.